Shall we talk about aging? It just came to me because I met an old friend yesterday that I haven't seen for many years. And you know how it is when you see somebody after many years and you immediately say, oh my God, has this person become old? You know? And I don't know if you have that too. You know, if I look in the mirror, sometimes, especially when I worked hard or when I'm tired, I don't see what I feel inside. I see my father, and it's kind of a puzzle because the inner feeling, I don't know if you have that, the inner feeling is very different than what we see reflected as form in the mirror. Anybody has that? Yeah. So it's kind of a puzzle. Now who is looking? And which really seems to be a very natural and strong identification, especially in our society in the West, that becoming old is something really terrible. And it is not. Because we don't become old. It is just that the body has its own use-by date. And it changes. But it becomes very interesting on the level of exploring consciousness, because the consciousness that we are has no age. So here, as we age, it becomes very interesting to watch something that ages and something that doesn't age, something that changes and something that doesn't change. And it seems in the human existence these both things happen at the same time. And when we get identified with that which constantly changes, we are suffering. Maybe the body starts aching, maybe we have some physical ailments, maybe we cannot do what we used to be able to do. And the more the more vigilance we have to bring our attention to that which doesn't age, which is just always the same, the more we can allow the changes and enjoy the changes that in the natural tribes is called wisdom, the wisdom of the elders. In the Western world it's very neglected. The old people get put away into some old people's homes. And we try to not go there so quickly, so we try to keep ourselves young so that we are not kind of being pushed away. But the more our attention rests with the formless, we can allow the form to do what it wants to do, which is really the art of dying. Because every moment we are dying. Every moment we are reborn, but every moment we are dying. Just yesterday we were young, today we are middle-aged, or maybe we are already old. And tomorrow we are gone. Yesterday a very beautiful being left the body, Viresh. I don't know if some of you have heard or known Viresh as one of the wonderful disciples of Osho who had the University and who helped people to move through what we were fortunate enough to move through in Pune 1, for those of us who were in Pune 1. And he made it possible to kind of break all boundaries of our normal personality structure in the university, in more or less wild courses, a very passionate and compassionate being. And suddenly he's gone. But what doesn't go? And it seems like as the years of this body get more, I realize I almost every day get an email of somebody that I knew that has left. I think of my father who got 94 years old and all his friends had left. And we're kind of in that same thing, depending on how old this body will be. So the learning in this way is really, again, very, very simple. Can I be here and be that which I am? Can I allow aging if aging is happening? Can I allow these wrinkles rather than having to go to the beauty operation? Can I just allow the process, and in that allowing, more and more rediscover the eternal, the unchanging, the impersonal, the presence, that what we wonderfully touched in this meditation. It's a very beautiful silence. Can we begin to appreciate these moments of presence? And there's one element that I find in my own personal journey. Instead of complaining what doesn't work anymore, to be actually so happy what still works. Yeah. I love surfing, so when I came back from my travels, I was very, very lousy because there were no muscles in surfing and in paddling, so I couldn't get any wave. So religiously, every morning, very early, I go surfing. I managed already for 4 weeks non-stop, and suddenly I can stand up again, and suddenly I can catch a wave again, and maybe it will be my very, very last wave, but what a joy. So how we see life really depends from which place we are looking. And I would suggest, as we look from presence, every moment is really a gift. It's a miracle that we are still sitting here. It's a miracle that life still sustains us, isn't it? Can finish any moment, and we're still here.